The Kansas City Chiefs are running the league right now, but somehow people still doubt them. With the NFL playoffs just around the corner, there's a lot of talk about whether they can make history with a Super Bowl three-peat. Even big names like Terry Bradshaw are questioning if they can pull it off. Heading into the final week of the regular season, the matchup against the Broncos won't affect the Chiefs directly, but it could have a huge impact on teams like the Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals. Andy Reid has already shared his plan for the game, so let's break it all down. How the Chiefs are preparing for the playoffs, which players are stepping up, and how they continue to silence the doubters. And the big news is who is out for the rest of the season. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. So, the NFL keeps making the same mistake every single year, doubting the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the team everyone wants to beat. And honestly, they're the team many people are tired of seeing win. Let's face it, many fans don't want to see the Chiefs pull off a historic three-peat in the Super Bowl. This brings us to Terry Bradshaw's recent comments, which we'll explore. I'm not just pulling random opinions here. Bradshaw publicly expressed doubt about the Chiefs' chances of three-peating as Super Bowl champions. To me, his skepticism doesn't make sense. On Fox NFL, he suggested that Kansas City won't pull off the three-peat. They're not going to win 3 in a row. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes has been leading this team to win after win, including 3 victories in just 11 days with a season record of 15-1. This time of year, the Chiefs are doing what they always do, locking in. Here is what he said. "You see how quick they get rid of the ball now?" He added. "See that quick? I just think they're going to load up against a team like Buffalo. They're going to load up against a team like Baltimore. And those are the 2 teams that can beat them. And I think that's going to happen. I think one of them is going to take them out, even though it would be in Kansas City." It seems like Terry Bradshaw's comment is just an attempt to put mental pressure on the Chiefs. Statistically, it doesn't hold up. The Chiefs defeated Baltimore in their first game of the regular season. Yes, it's true that the Bills beat the Chiefs during the regular season, but Baltimore defeated the Bills by a huge margin. After that, the Texans also defeated the Bills, and the Texans themselves were defeated by the Chiefs in Week 16. Now, let's analyze Bradshaw's reasoning as to why the Chiefs will lose to the Bills in Baltimore. He claims the Chiefs quickly get rid of the ball. I guess he didn't recheck the stats of the game the Chiefs lost to the Bills and the game the Chiefs won against the Ravens. Against the Bills, the Chiefs possessed the ball for around 26 minutes, nearly 43%. This is not so quick. In the game against the Ravens, the Chiefs possessed the ball for just above 26 minutes, the same as against the Bills, but they won. To me, it just sounds like speculation. Opinions like this often feel more like guesses than informed analysis. The path to the Super Bowl won't be easy. No playoff run ever is. But when you're a team like Kansas City, sitting at 15-1, with home field advantage throughout the playoffs, it certainly looks more manageable than what other teams are facing. So yes, the Chiefs' one loss this season came against the Buffalo Bills, a team that's clearly motivated after 3 consecutive eliminations in the AFC divisional round. The Bills are playing with a massive chip on their shoulder. However, history tells us that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid thrive in high-pressure moments like these. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are fully aware that the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens are likely the biggest threats standing in their way. The Ravens in particular are fueled by a revenge narrative after Kansas City knocked them out in the 2023 AFC Championship game to secure a Super Bowl berth. Even though the Kansas City Chiefs don't have history on their side this year, since no team has ever achieved a Super Bowl three-peat, it's hard to count them out. Why? Because they have Patrick Mahomes, an elite quarterback who thrives under pressure. They have Andy Reid, an offensive mastermind who consistently gets the best out of his players. And they have Travis Kelce, one of the most dominant and reliable tight ends in the league. Patrick Mahomes in particular is finishing the season on a high note. His numbers have improved down the stretch, and he's looked even better compared to earlier in the season. Although this season was different for Mahomes, as he was sacked significantly more during the regular season. However, the Chiefs addressed this issue effectively in the final 3 games. By moving Joe Thuney to left tackle, adding extra help through chips, and adjusting the play calling, the offensive line became much more reliable. Facing tough defenses like those of Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and the Texans, a team ranked 3rd in the NFL for sacks, the Chiefs allowed just 1 sack across those 3 games with Mahomes under center. That improved protection is a major reason why this team is poised for another deep playoff run. But it's not just about the protection. Hollywood Brown's return from a preseason injury couldn't have come at a better time. His presence, combined with Xavier Worthy's improvement, has elevated the Chiefs' passing game. Over Mahomes' last 2 starts, the offense has looked sharp, even against playoff-caliber defenses. In this small sample size, Mahomes has averaged 290 passing yards per game, with an impressive 72% completion rate, 7.3 yards per attempt, and a flawless stat line of 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. These numbers even more impressive. Why? because they came against strong defenses. The Texans have allowed just 199 passing yards per game, while the Steelers averaged 229.5 passing yards allowed. Yet Mahomes outperformed both averages, showing just how dangerous he is when given proper protection and more offensive weapons. Now, enough talk on the lame comments by the haters. Let's shift our focus to the upcoming game against the Broncos. Head coach Andy Reid addressed reporters about his plans for resting starters in Week 18. Reid confirmed, Carson Wentz is going to start at quarterback, and we'll work from there to decide who plays and who doesn't. Last year, we rotated the offensive line to keep players fresh, and similar decisions could happen here, depending on the position. This Week 18 game doesn't not hold significant playoff implications for the Chiefs, but three other AFC teams: the Broncos, Miami Dolphins, and Cincinnati Bengals. Here's the scenario. If the Broncos beat the Chiefs, Denver secures the 7th and final AFC playoff spot. But if Denver loses, they can still clinch if both Miami and Cincinnati lose. If the Chiefs win, Miami clinches a playoff berth with a victory over the Jets. And if the Chiefs win and Miami loses, the Bengals can clinch by beating the Steelers. Former Chiefs wide receiver and current Dolphins standout Tyreek Hill weighed in, sharing some love for Chiefs fans on Twitter. He hinted that Kansas City could help Miami's playoff hopes with a win over Denver, tweeting, "Happy New Year, especially to the Chiefs." Back in 2019, Kansas City needed a win and a Patriots loss to secure the AFC's number 2 seed. Entering the final week of the season, Miami, with a 4-11 record, pulled off an improbable upset over the defending Super Bowl champion Patriots. Led by quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, the Dolphins capped their victory with a last-minute touchdown pass to tight end Mike Gesicki, sealing the win. This result gave the Chiefs the number 2 seed and a bye week, which proved pivotal as Kansas City went on to win the Super Bowl against the 49ers, claiming their first Lombardi trophy in 50 years. In his press conference, Andy Reid emphasized the importance of giving backup players opportunities to grow while resting the starters. "I'm not too worried about all of that. It gives other guys a chance to develop," Reid said. He also highlighted the team's focus on fundamentals, like securing the football and minimizing tipped passes, which have been areas of emphasis throughout the season. Reid acknowledged that this game is not just about the backups getting reps, but also about maintaining sharpness for the playoffs. "We want to stay sharp mentally and physically heading into the postseason, and that's our responsibility as coaches and players," he added. Andy Reid continued emphasizing the importance of improvement, noting that while the team has made strides, there's still room to grow. "We've got to keep rolling with that and make it a point of emphasis as we move forward," he said. Reid also shared his respect for Carson Wentz, saying, "He's a good football player with a good feel for the game, whether developed here or before joining us." Giving Wentz this opportunity not only helps him, but also gives Patrick Mahomes time to work on specific aspects of his game during practices. Reid highlighted how Wentz has adapted to different roles this season, stepping up to play fullback and contribute on special teams, areas he hadn't previously focused on. "He's developed into a pretty good fullback, and we know he can carry the ball as well. He handled the load as our running back earlier this season, which is a big plus," Reid added. Carson Wentz also addressed the media, reflecting on his upcoming start, his first since January 2024 when he played for the Rams against the 49ers. The last time Wentz was a full-time starter was back in 2022 with the Washington Commanders. Wentz kept his message clear and focused. "Obviously, I want to play well and have success out there. More than anything, I want to get a win. That's the goal," he stated. He acknowledged the unique circumstances leading to his start, but remained optimistic and prepared. "I've stayed ready, kept my routine, and worked against our defense in practice to stay sharp. Our defense is no slouch, so that's helped me stay on my toes." Carson Wentz continued discussing his mindset heading into Week 18. Acknowledging the circumstances behind his start, he stated, "I know where we're at, and I know the reason I'm playing, but I'm still going out there expecting to win. I'm preparing to perform well with this offense, and that's what we're focused on." Where the Chiefs are going to rest some players, here is the injury report for the next game. Chris Jones is still recovering from a calf injury sustained in Week 16 against the Texans. He missed Week 17 but is expected back for the playoffs. Isiah Pacheco is dealing with rib soreness from the Steelers game. He's probably resting in the next game, but is not expected to miss postseason action. A 21-day IR window opens for Mecole Hardman, signaling a possible postseason contribution. DJ Humphries is back in practice. He's probably resting too in the upcoming game, but will be seen in action in postseason.